Hi everyone, my name is Sanjana Arora and welcome back to my channel. And today's video is going to be a very important video, and that is how to make sentences in English. Well, first of all, trust me, I understand that whenever we are learning a new language, no matter which language it is very difficult for us to be at a level where we want to be. And trust me, you are not the only one facing this problem. There are many others, but this problem can be resolved very easily. So if you are someone who faces problem in making sentences when you're speaking or when you're writing, then this video is going to be for you. And in this video, I'm not going to give you any grammatical rules or something that is going to even complicate you even more, but I'm going to tell you how to use the knowledge that you are already having in a way that you are able to make sentences perfectly. So I am going to share 5 ways with you with which you can make sentences without learning any new rules of grammar and by applying the knowledge that you are already having in a very structured way. So let's get started. So the first tip that I have for you is very important and is going to be a game changer. That is, be clear with your ideas. Now, what do I mean by it is that whenever you are supposed to speak or write in any of the language, not just English, but in any of the language, be clear with your thoughts, be clear with what you want to speak, because if you have your thoughts in your mind, if you have your thoughts sorted, then you only have to form sentences, and that is not going to be very complicated. What happens most of the time is that we force our brain to think about the ideas and to make sentences at the same time. And when we are at a beginner level in any of the language, this becomes overcomplicated for our brain. So let's say, for example, you're supposed to write an essay on anything. Then what I would suggest you is that first of all, take a rough sheet, make pointers. By pointers, I don't mean sentences. I actually mean just short notes of the topics, the points that you want to address in your essay. And once you have made those sub points, then just organize those sub points into sentences, for which you just have to add subject, verb, and object. And those are the rules which I know you already know, but the application is the thing which you struggle at. But if your thoughts are organized, then this application is not going to be difficult. Similarly, when we have to talk in English, then you'll say that we can't make a rough sheet. I know we can't make a rough sheet, but you can think beforehand. For example, if tomorrow you're supposed to go to watch a movie and your colleagues are going to be there and you know you'll be speaking in English, so I would like you to have an imaginary conversation with you beforehand, so that you know what are the ideas, what are the topics, what are actually the concept on the basis of which you can have a conversation. And then at that moment, you just have to make sentences. So what will happen with this is, slowly and steadily, your hesitation is going to go out. And do you know what? The fumbling that happens while speaking is not because you don't know the language, it happens because you are scared. Yes, you heard it correct. The fear of being incorrect in front of others is very real, and it often stops us from doing something that we really want to. So when you are with your friends, with your colleagues, with your family who already speak good English, you start getting scared, and even the things that you know, you are unable to speak. So for that, I want you to get rid of hesitation, and that is possible only if you initially start being prepared for the situations, because we are not somebody, humans are not somebody who will always be ready for spontaneous situations. We always need to know what's in the future. So once you'll be prepared mentally for that, you'll be able to perform better in terms of having a conversation. Now moving to my second suggestion. The second suggestion that I want to give you is, keep it simple. You know, there's a saying that simplicity is the utmost sophistication, and that stands true even in terms of our language, even in terms of our conversation, even in terms of our lifestyle. So, when I say by simplicity is the utmost sophistication in terms of language, what do I mean? I mean that don't try to impress others by using fancy English vocabulary or very complex English structures. Let me explain it to you with an example. We all admire the way Mr. Shashi Tharoor delivers his speech. We are all fascinated by the vocabulary he uses and by the kind of sentences he phrases. But tell me one thing, how many of us are able to understand it? Not many. Only the people who know English really well are able to understand him clearly. But if I talk about Bollywood celebrities, we are often able to understand them completely. There'll be two, three words here and there which will be new to us, but in the crux, we are able to understand them. The masses are able to understand them, and celebrities' interview are more popular than Mr. Shashi Tharoor's interview. So this means that if your speech is clear, if the ideas that you are trying to convey are being understood by people, your speech will be admired more. Let me tell you with my example as well. I have been into public speaking ever since I was a child. And my mother told me that I know you know English really well, but your goal when you are delivering a speech should be that even a person who knows just basic English, if I am in class 10th and there is a student of class 5 in the audience, that 5th class student should also be able to understand the English that I am using. So this means that if you keep your language simple, if you keep your vocabulary simple, it'll not only help you, it'll help you in the terms that you won't have to think too much about the words, you will just have to convey your ideas, but it will also help the audience, the people, to understand you better. Because trust me, nobody knows all the words of dictionary, and dictionary is not equal to conversation. Conversation means to be able to convey our ideas, not convey the words of the dictionary. We need basic set of vocabulary, and which I believe you all are already having, because we all have studied from repeated schools, and even if not, we have practiced really hard to learn the words that we already know. Vocabulary should be built, should be developed gradually, but just because you don't know fancy words, that should not stop you from speaking or writing in good English. A good English is not equal to a good set of vocabulary being used. It means that you should be able to impress others by the way you are speaking. Right now, when I'm talking to you, when I'm explaining to you, I'm not using any kind of high sophisticated words or the words which seem like they are from some other world. I'm using very simple words, but I'm taking pauses. I'm making my ideas clear, and I'm actually trying to explain it to you, and that is the reason why you are still watching this video. So this means use simple words and simple sentence structures and you're good to go. Now let's move to the third tip. Take your time. Take your time means you don't have to rush. There is no train you need to catch when you are speaking in English. Some people say that being fluent means being fast. Well, that is 100% incorrect statement, because being fluent just means that you're not fumbling. And what do I mean by fumbling? Fumbling means doing this is something you need to avoid. But the way I just took a pause of a second, that is not known as fumbling. It is human. We all need time to breathe. We all need time to reflect. We all need a pause when we are speaking, because we can't speak continuously, right? So you even don't need to do that. When you are speaking, speak at your own pace. There'll be people who are having a habit of speaking really fast, and that would not just be for English language, but would be for even the every other language, even for the language that they use at their home, for example, Hindi or Punjabi. But there'll be people who will take time, will be very slow speakers, even in their native language. So that means that the pace is different for different people, and you have to follow your own pace. If you'll start forcing yourself to speak very fast, then number one, you're going to make many errors. Number two, it's not going to be impressive. If I start speaking at the speed of 200 kilometers per hour, nobody will be able to understand me. And what's the point of a speech that nobody understands? And whenever I'm giving you a tip, just see the crux of everything is that people should be able to understand you. Why was language developed? Language was developed so that we can convey our ideas, not so that we can show off. So if you are able to convey your ideas, you are doing perfect. So that means speak slowly, take your time, take pauses. You will be able to notice that even in this video, I am taking many pauses. And my pauses are not to think about the words, but sometimes to think about the ideas as well, or sometimes even to just breathe. And that is really important, and it's important for you as well. So please don't follow the pace of anybody, don't try to copy anybody, just pick your own pace and you'll see the improvement that you'll have. And it stands true even for your writing skills. Just because you see that the other person completes an essay in 10 minutes doesn't mean that you also have to complete it in 10 minutes. It might take you 20 minutes, but maybe the essay that you write in 20 minutes is much better than the one which was written in 10 minutes. So trust yourself, trust your pace, and do things at your own speed. Okay? Now, step number 4 is something in which you have to put some efforts. Why? Because I want to say in the tip number 4 that practice active listening and reading. Now, why am I using the word active listening and reading? I don't just want that you're sleeping with the podcast and you'll think that English is going to come into your mind. Well, that is another thing that we do just to get used to English. But by active listening and active reading, I mean that you should be focused whenever you are listening or whenever you are reading. Now, what will happen with this is when you're listening to somebody actively, you'll be able to observe how they are forming sentences, and your brain is going to capture those way of forming sentences naturally. And this will happen more when you are actually reading, because when you are reading, you'll be able to see how what kind of verbs are being used with what kind of nouns in what kind of situations. So when you are doing active reading, trust me, it's going to help you enormously and you're going to learn grammar without even realizing. And you try that whenever you read some sentences, try to form similar situations in which you can use those similar sentences in your everyday life. And once you start using those sentences, you'll see that other sentences will start coming out naturally. And trust me, being fluent in language does not happen overnight. Rome was also not built in a night. So it is going to take time, but the results are going to be beautiful. You'll have to put in efforts, you'll have to practice a lot. You will see that you won't always be at the place where you want to be, but slowly and steadily you are going to become perfect, and that is the goal. So when you are doing your active listening and active reading, please sit with a notebook, try to note down the new things that you learn. If you see any kind of new sentence, just try to write it down. And I've made many videos on what kind of songs can you listen to, what kind of things you can read, so you can go through that too. In this video, I'm just talking about the suggestions that you can follow. So this is my tip number 4, and now let's move to the last tip. That's tip number 5. The last suggestion is work on your English skills gradually. Don't think that everything will happen immediately. The way I said that Rome was not built in a day, your English skills are not going to develop in a day. It's going to take time, and you cannot do everything at the same time. For example, if I say that I'm going to practice listening, reading, writing, speaking, everything at the same time, that is not going to happen. See, we have to break it in parts. Sometimes there'll be a simultaneous learning, but when we are focusing on it completely, we have to segregate the things and we have to grasp it with time. For example, I would say that start with simple sentences initially. Let's say I want to say I like coffee. So if you're at beginner level, then you can say I like coffee. And once you think that you are comfortable with making sentences like that, you can make them more complex. Like, I like coffee because it helps me stay awake and focused for a long time. So you see, I added another sentence to my previously simple sentence. So with this, I was able to make my simpler sentence into a bit complex sentence, but I did it with time. Now let's make the sentence a bit more complex. When I wake up in the morning, I like to have a cup of coffee because it helps me to stay focused the entire day. So you see how I started with a very simple concept that I like coffee, but gradually I started making it more complex. You can also start in a similar way, that you start with simpler things, and with time, every day, just keep on adding one thing or the other. And the last thing that I would like to say you all is that keep space for making errors in your life, in your heart, and accept the errors. Why am I saying this? Because sometimes we want to be so perfect that we are scared of making even a single mistake. We start thinking a lot about grammar, a lot about correct vocabulary, and because of the fear of that, we wait for the day when we are going to be perfect. But it is not going to happen overnight. Even in today's video, I am sure that there would be some grammatical error here or there which I would have made even without realizing. And when I'll be editing it, I'll get to notice it, but I won't change it. Why? Because it's a part of human nature. Even when we speak in a native tongue, then also we end up making some errors. So that means when we are speaking, some errors are meant to happen and they are not to be considered as a blunder. So don't worry, just be confident, just keep practicing. Don't be scared of making mistakes, because making mistakes is a part of learning, and that is what is actually going to help you improve and become a fluent English speaker and a writer as well. So I hope you found this video useful, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to like, comment and share this video. I am going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.